Yes, hello and welcome to the Circuit of Americas. This is Elliot Splash, and this is the United States Grand Prix in my F1 2014 career mode playthrough. And yes, I bet you're wondering, where is Sochi and where is Monza? Well, I tried recording those at 60 frames per second, because YouTube has now started supporting 60 FPS. However, for some reason my recorder didn't like that, and I did not realise. So I recorded those two races, and it didn't record properly. It recorded the first 40 seconds and then started jumping. So I couldn't actually make videos of those. So those races, I did not finish in Monza. It came down heavily in rain and I had to retire. And in Sochi I finished in 4th place. And Sochi's a shame I couldn't release it because I had such a good race. I had loads of overtakes. I had such a good setup. I was getting DRS on almost every straight, and Sector 1 and Sector 2 I was phenomenal in, and I was losing time in Sector 3 because of it. But it was a really good race. I finished 4th from 10th place on the grid, so I was really happy with that. But we are starting in 6th in this race at the United States Grand Prix with Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel on the front row. And we are in 6th and Felipe Massa is in 8th. So let's see how the start of this race goes. And this was weird for me. I had to change my engine unit in this race, so I didn't get any practice sessions. So qualifying was my practice, so with a bit of guidance on this track I should be able to go a hell of a lot faster. But as we are now starting and we are going to dive down the inside of most cars there, giving Alonso a bit of a nudge there as he comes back us. There's not a lot of room really. There was 3 wide going through that corner, but we are now up to 2nd place through the first corner of the United States Grand Prix. And here we are now at the end of lap 1, and we can see that we have gained a little bit on Alonso. We're about 1.5 seconds ahead of Alonso, but 2.4 seconds behind Vettel. But here we are now on lap 3, and Vettel is still pulling away, but we're still keeping the gap to Alonso to around about 1.5 seconds. So we're having quite a good race. But here we are now in lap 4, and Rosberg has overtaken Alonso and is starting to gain on me. As you can see on lap 5, he's closed the gap now, and I'm struggling, to be honest, with these tyres, with these options. The best I can set is a 144, and I believe Vettel is setting 142s as Rosberg is 0.4 seconds behind us. So we're going to have to watch out for him in the DRS straights. But here we are now on lap 8, coming into the pits for our first pit stop, and I believe we're doing option prime for this race. So we've got Alonso just coming in behind us. It'll be interesting to see what kind of setup he is using and what kind of race strategy as we are diving into the pits now. Hopefully we do not get held up, and it is a 3.7 second pit stop. So yeah, we've just come out behind, in front of Alonso, sorry. And we are rejoining in 8th place, just behind Perez. And yeah, this race is going quite well. It's interesting to see where we come out. But here we are at the end of lap 10, and we have got the other cars coming in now, and we've just come out just behind Rosberg, so he's stayed out for a couple of laps more, and it looks like that has helped him. He's gained a little bit of time on me, but we're going to stick with the rest of this lap because we're going to be quite close to him as we're coming through the chicane corners. And I'll tell you what, this racetrack does remind me a lot of India for some reason. It just got the same kind of feel to it. As we're coming to the end of Sector 1 now, almost starting Sector 2, and yeah, I should be in the DRS zone for the DRS zone coming up in the next corner as we try and get a nice clean exit out of this corner. And yeah, we're getting closer, but I'm going to try and overtake him as soon as possible, see if this DRS helps at all. We're certainly gaining on him, but is it going to be enough to get past him on this corner as we're really closing now? But we're going to have to brake, try a massive dive bomb. We do not touch, but we're running wide, and we are now up into 3rd place. And Perez there, we're just overtaking on lap 11. We got the DRS. It's pretty simple. He's going quite slow because he's on a set of used prime tyres. I believe he's been on those since the start of the race, so he should be coming into the pits in the next lap or two. So yeah, we're back into P2, and we set a purple sector as well, which is quite good. But here we are now on lap 15, and these tyres are starting to go off now. We're coming in lap 17 is our scheduled pit stop, and we have got, I believe, Rosberg, and we have got Raikkonen or Alonso behind us. One of the Ferraris is behind us, and it's a good thing with this setup. I'm struggling in the corners, that's where all the cars are gaining on us. However, on the straights, they're struggling to keep up with my pace because I've got such good traction and acceleration. So yeah, we're at lap 17 now. We're coming into the pits for our final pit stop. You can see these tyres were quite worn, so it'll be nice to get some fresh rubber on this car and just fly away and hopefully rejoin in second place once everyone else has done their pits. As we see, I believe that was Raikkonen there jumping into the pits. As we're coming into the pits now for our final pit stop, and it's another 3.7 second pit stop. So yeah, we are now rejoining in 7th place, just behind our championship rival Button. But it looks like he hasn't pit yet, so we should be coming back out in at least 3rd place once everyone else has taken their pits. As we have Perez there going very close to us and almost crashing into our back end. But here we are now on the end of lap 18 to the start of lap 19, and yeah, we are still we're overtaking one car, I believe, coming out of the pits, and I'm not sure who that actually is. No, we're not overtaking him. That is Rosberg. That is Rosberg. He's done it again. He's got past us, and that is annoying because that could prove difficult to get past him. We saw how difficult it was to get past him last time. But here we are now, we've got the DRS and we're trying to overtake him, and we go wide. We go wide, and we've got a warning for causing collision there. I'm surprised, to be honest, that I didn't get a penalty for that. I think I should have got a penalty for that, to be honest. But as we're losing traction now because we've got the marbles on our tyres. But here we are now on the lap 20, and there is another car in the pits. I'm not sure who it is. Is it Alonso? Yes, it is. So we are now rejoining in 4th place. I'm not sure if Ricardo has pitted yet, so we might have a couple more places to get above soon anyway. So we might still come back out in 3rd or 2nd place. So that'll be interesting to find out. But yeah, this race, I'm still trying to get used to the track. I haven't raced this racetrack before, so it is quite difficult to. I didn't have a practice session, so qualifying was my practice, so I'm still not up to speed yet as we overtake Ricardo, and I'm not sure who the other car was in the pits. It might have been Hamilton, but we are now back into 2nd place, and we just now got to try and hold on for this podium position finish. And you can see on lap 25 there is a massive train of cars forming. I can only manage 144s, 145s are the best I can manage really. So, and all the other cars, there's a couple like Alonso who's on option tyres, so he is a real struggle to keep behind us. So I'm having to go into fuel mix 3 on the straights and then back down to fuel mix 2 because I'm probably going to be running out of fuel at the end of this race. It is very marginal, I believe. But here we are now on lap 27. We've still got a massive train of cars behind us. Alonso is really close to us. I'm not sure if he can overtake us though, but he can't, because we are now coming to the end of the race with Sebastian Vettel winning the US Grand Prix, and we are going to finish in a solid 3rd place, and I'm extremely happy with that position finish. And yeah, another podium in the bag for the Williams team. Felipe Massa hasn't actually managed a podium position yet. However, I've managed 1 race win and 2 podium positions, so yeah, I'm extremely happy about that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Formula 1 video, and yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please give it a share and a like. If you can share it as much as possible, that would be brilliant, just to get this video out there and hopefully bring in more viewers to enjoy this content. But yeah, this is Elliot Splash signing out. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and until next time guys, at Brazil, this is the career mode playthrough.